What's up guys, it's Sunmin and welcome back to Your Money Game, the show where we'll get better with saving, spending and investing. And today we're going to talk about being frugal and whether or not we can do it while being happy. Now I'm very sure that there are many of you out there that can relate to my personal story. Growing up, my dad used to drive into me, be frugal. But he didn't really talk so much about the mindset of frugality. It was really just, hey, don't spend so much, it's too expensive. But in all fairness, he did indulge me every now and then with my nagging, and on top of that, all the lessons he taught me really stuck. So I'm a really grateful son. Thanks, Pa. But as I've matured throughout the years, the way I've thought about frugality and the actions that I take have also changed. So in this video, I'm going to share with you guys 4 action steps as well as 4 mindset tweaks that anybody can make to try and become more frugal without suffering too much, and hopefully the entire experience is going to leave you a happier person. That's because for many people, the idea of frugality is all about suffering. It's all about self-denial, saying no to all your favorite stuff, and that doesn't necessarily have to be the case. So if you're ready, let's go. The first action step is to make it really difficult for companies to get your money. By reducing the number of ads as well as notifications, we really just reduce the number of times we have to say no, and therefore it's less pain. You can start by whipping out your phone, looking for all the different kind of shopping apps that you have, and turning off all the notifications. If you're feeling a bit braver, go to your inbox, look for all the newsletters that you've subscribed to, and unsubscribe. The biggest step is to dig into your social media history and delete everything so that all those ads won't follow you around. There are many guides on how to do that online, but for Facebook specifically, all you need to do is to go to your search bar, look for off Facebook activity, and that's where you'll find those key settings. Over there, you can clear your history, and then on top of that, turn off the feature for all your future activity. As a result of that, there'll be fewer ads following you around on the different kind of social platforms that you're on. The next step is to reduce the habit of us buying stuff in order to add excitement into our lives. The more we are aware that we're buying stuff just to feel the sense of newness in our lives, the more we are able to look for cheaper or even free activities that add that spice to our lives. Naturally, this part is quite personal because I don't know what you enjoy doing, but for me specifically, I like reading, and I'm a fan of the free National Library app where I get a pretty good selection of books and magazines. The other day, I went kayaking for $9 for 2 hours at Passion Wave at Marina Bay. And if you just hop on Google, there are plenty more listicles of free or cheap things that you can do to kind of add that excitement to your lives. The next tactic is to be open-minded in buying everyday items that are slightly lower grade. There are a lot of stuff when you pay for it, you do pay for high quality and it's worth it. So this isn't about buying stuff and suffering with low quality. It's just about keeping an open mind that with some of the stuff, you do not have to have the best of the best. And if you were honest with yourself, if you tried the lower tier item, you might not even be able to tell the difference. My personal example is that I eat a lot of overnight oats. So there's oats, there's nuts, there's soy milk, and on top of that, I drink a lot of coffee as well as buy dried beans. And to be honest, after trying a few different grades, I can't really tell the big difference between some of them. You eventually hit a point where you realize that, hey, some stuff you'll pay a little bit more, but for a lot of the other stuff, you don't really mind the lower tier. In fact, you're quite happy with it as well, and all the additional savings that you might have. The next action of becoming a frugal saver is actually to become a better spender. Instead of forcing ourselves to say no to the things that we love, it's actually becoming smarter at how we go about getting them. And this can involve a few different things. Like in my case, I don't usually be the first in line to get the very latest model. And a perfect case in point is that I recently upgraded to a Note 10 Plus, and that was last year's model, and I got it for free with a mobile plan. Speaking of plan, get better at planning your buys. So we all know that sale seasons are so common these days, but the trick is understanding that not all sale seasons are treated equally. What I've personally found for the stuff that I like is that National Day sales plus Black Friday sales are usually better for the discounts that I want. And like a true pro, you'll layer on 4 levels of discounts. The first discount, like I said, is the sale. The second is the e-commerce platform where they might give you a promo code. The third level is using a great credit card. And finally, maybe even like a shopback platform. But as you wait for those great deals, please don't forget to click on that like and subscribe button because that really helps my channel grow. Now that we're done with those tactics, let's talk about those mindset shifts. I really feel that it helped me see frugality not as just a series of actions, but they're really a meaningful way to live our lives. The first major shift was when I began to appreciate my time as well as my energy much better. So let's face it, unless you are super lucky, you are just like me, spending a lot of time and energy working for money. So in Singapore, the median personal income tends to be about $4,500. So if you broke down the hourly wages of somebody in that bracket, it would roughly become about $25 an hour. Let's look at something attractive like say the Samsung Note 20 Ultra. It costs about $1,400, and if you did the math, that works up to be roughly 56 hours of working before you could earn the money to buy that one item. But the important question is it worth it? And only you could answer that, and it differs from person to person. If you truly appreciated all that hard work and energy that you put into making money, you might rethink some of the things that you choose to buy and add into your life. The next mindset shift is related to the first one, and it is understanding that I can actually buy time as well as freedom. This really becomes possible once you begin to break down what your financial independence number looks like. Once you accomplish that FI number, you have way more freedom as well as the power to decide on how you use your time. But how is this related to frugality? I began to appreciate that each decision not to spend can also be thought of as a decision to buy my freedom in the future. The third mindset shift is to look at the things that you already have and try and get more joy out of them than just thinking about adding more things into your life. Some of my personal examples are my phones, which I tend to use on average about 3 to 4 years. My laptop that you see me editing this video on is a 2013 MacBook Air. Some of them are actually hand-me-downs from my mother, one of which is a slow cooker that was actually her wedding gift. This mindset requires us to look at the different things that we have in our lives, and hopefully they have a strong purpose. And this brings me to the final mindset, which for me, it's all about appreciating that the culture we have of buying and throwing away stuff, it's really bad for the planet. Look, some of you might be saying, like, that stuff was made already, so it wouldn't have made a difference if I bought it or not. Or, I'm just one person, what difference does it make? What's the impact? And look, those are fair points. For me personally, I have no idea what my individual impact is. All I know is that consciously buying less stuff and either reusing or repurposing older things really makes me feel like that's the right thing to do. And along the way, hey, that helps me buy less stuff, and it helps me appreciate that my action might have a positive impact. So that's it. Frugality as a concept does not need to be about pain and sacrifice. It really could be a series of actions that you do that just reduce the amount of pain or mindset shifts that you make for the long term. What about you guys? Those 8 are just my personal ones. I'm sure you have some of your own tips that you could share as well. So I hope you guys found this useful, and if you did, I would really appreciate your support by hitting that like, subscribe, as well as that bell button, because I'm going to be back again next Sunday with a brand new video. And until then, take care and keep playing your own game.